Hi guys, welcome back again to my channel Dami Dimension. My name is Dami. In today's video we are going to be using the golden rule pattern to make a cute top, and this is the top we are going to be making today, this one right here. So I selected that from the pattern book, and when you flip to the back of this particular page, that is where you are going to see the pattern itself that has already been drafted. So I went ahead and made a photocopy of the page, so I recommend you do this so you don't mess up with the original copy. So this number 61 is the pattern, and this one is the front, while this is the back, and this is the rectangular piece that is on the design. So what you see me doing right here is just folding this paper so it's easier for me to work with, and I'm placing it on a fresh pattern paper and using the kit that came with this pattern, my pin first. I'm grabbing the pin and also the tape measure of this pattern, and I'm going to be placing the pin on my bust circumference measurement. My bust circumference is 92, so I'm placing the pin on the 92, and I'm simply going to pin this down onto the cross that is on this pattern. Right, so just like that. If you don't understand this properly, maybe you can watch my previous video on where I explain how this pattern actually works. All right, so once you're done pinning it down, then this way you see that your tape is able to move around like this, and then what you need to do is to match the edge of the tape to those small lines that you can see at the bottom of those numbers. So match the edge of your tape to those numbers and then mark that particular number just like that. So right now I'm working with this 24. I match my tape to the line, and then it says 24, then I'm just going to mark 24. That's how simple it is to actually transfer this pattern to your site. The next is this line 17. I move my tape to match up with that tiny line, and then there it says 17, right? Then I'm just marking 17 on my tape. Next, again, I'm moving to the next one, which is the line 13, and I match my tape with it, and then I will mark 13. Again, I'll go to the next one, which is 10. I'll match my tape with it, and then I will mark 10. And as you can see, my 10 falls on my paper right here. So that means I have to fold in my paper a little bit more so that I am able to mark the 10 on my actual pattern paper. All right, so it's pretty repetitive and very simple, you guys. So that's what you just want to keep on doing. So go to the next line, match the edge of your tape to that small line, and whatever number is written on that line, then you should just mark it on your tape measure. And by the time you are done doing all of that, you just realize that the shape that you have on the pattern paper has been transferred to your fresh pattern paper. Just keep watching so you see what I'm doing and what we are going to create using this pattern. So you see, I just kept on rotating and marking. This is 17. I mark 17. Next is 20.5. I mark 20.5, and next is 26. Then I mark 26, and you can see the pattern is already out. So you just have to connect all the points together, and I'm using the tool that came with this pattern as well. I'm just using it to mark. As you can see, the pattern now is done, and you can see this hashed part. That's where is indicated that you should cut out as you're facing. So that's what I'm just going to transfer on my pattern now. It says we should come down by 3 centimeters. I came down by 3 centimeters and connected that, and that forms that hashed part. So then I'm adding seam allowance of 1/2 inch all the way around it. Keep in mind that this pattern doesn't have a seam allowance, so you have to do that. So next I'm going to draft my back pattern, but because it's just typically the same thing, I'm not going to go through it again. So yeah, I just went ahead and cut out this pattern, and also I went ahead to draft my back the same exact way. And once I was done drafting, I placed it on my fabric folded in two. You can see my fabric is folded into two, so I placed the pattern and I'm just simply cutting it out exactly as it is. All right, because my seam allowance has already been added. So once I was done cutting, this is it. And then I also cut out the rectangular piece. It says we should use 8 by 80 centimeters, but I made mine a little bit bigger. This is my preference. I used 12 by 150 centimeters. I just want to be able to do more with this strip rather rather than just tying it around my neck. I want it to be more versatile. You will see what I mean in the end. Just keep on watching. All right, so here are all of the panels together. I have 2 front panels and 2 facings for the front panel. I used the hashed part on that pattern to cut out the facing, and I have 2 back panels as well, and also 2 facings for the back panel. And of course, here is the strip. This is all the entire panels. So I went ahead and overlocked the down part of my facing first, and then we are going to start joining. So first, you are going to sew in the dart. Of course, you should transfer it from the pattern to the fabric. Sew in the dart on the 2 back panels like so. And once you are done sewing in the dart, next I'm going to do is to hem the down part of all the 4 panels, basically the front and the back. So once I was done hemming and also sewing in the dart, this is what I have. And the next thing I'm going to do is to insert my zipper, and I'm using this open-ended zipper. So this is how you should install the zipper. You should place the right side of the zipper on the right side of the fabric like this and stitch it all the way along. And once you're done with that side, then flip it to the other side, right side facing, and stitch. All right, so once that is done, this is what I have. And as you can see, my zipper is longer, so I am just moving this one down so I can cut off the excess basically. So for the strip, I'm just going to fold it like this, and I'm going to simply give it a nice shape at the end. This is just my choice. You can do it as well if you want. I will do the same on the other side. Just cut it diagonally randomly. So next, I'm folding it right sides facing each other, and I'm going to be stitching all along this way by 1/2 inch all through the entire piece. So but I'm going to be leaving a little bit of opening somewhere about 5 inches long that I'm going to use to turn it to the right side. So once I was done doing that 1/2 inch stitch all the way through the strip, this is what I have. Then through that opening that I have, I'm turning it to the right side like so. All right, so I'm setting that aside. Now I'm going to be joining my facing. I'm going to be joining them along the shoulder. So I'm placing the facing together like this and joining it on the shoulder. And also you place the main fabric together this way, right sides facing each other, and join it on the shoulder. So once that was done, this is what I have. And now I'm flipping it to the right side. Then I'm bringing in the facing, right side facing the right side of the main fabric, and I'm stitching on the armhole, stitching on the neckline like this, and also stitching this way. But make sure your zipper is placed flat that way when you stitch. So go ahead and stitch it that way. And once I was done doing that stitch, I have something like this, and also I'm going ahead to notch it so it comes out nice and flat by the time I flip it to the right side. And I just flip it to the right side that way. Do the same to the other side, and I give that a good press. So once I was done pressing, the next thing I'm going to do is to combine the front together. So I'm flipping the front together like this, right sides facing each other, and I'm joining along the center front by 1/2 inch. As you can see, that was done. And the next thing I'm going to do is to put in an elastic band to form a gather. And I cut out 5.5 inches elastic band, just about this length. You just cut out an elastic band that gives you the desired length basically. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch that onto this part, and I'm going to be stretching the elastic band as I stitch. I stretch and stitch and stretch and stitch, and by the time I'm done, it will gather it up like so. So once you're done doing that, then also bring the back and front together and join them along the sides. And that's basically it for the blouse. Once you do that, that's it. And this is the finished result, guys. I hope you like this video. Please remember to hit the like button as always. Subscribe to the channel and let me know what you think down below. Please leave a comment for me in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this top. And also, I'm thinking of making either a trouser or a skirt for this top. Let me know which one you think would be better, which one you would like to see. And until I see you again in my next video, bye.